to Seed Faith Homestead. My name is Russell Lowry, and I've got a wife, Linda, and a daughter, Leah. She's 20. She has special needs. She deals with on the autism spectrum, and my wife, she's still taking some service calls at the house. She works from home now because of COVID. They never went back to the office, which has really helped her out in the things that she has to do. But this channel here is dedicated to us embarking on this journey of homesteading and being self-sufficient more, and growing our own food and animals, and just enjoying life together as a family. We are very much faith-based. I'm a pastor, have been for many years, and we love God. We love each other, and so our family is looking forward to sharing with you what God has done for us and the things that He is teaching us as we continue to grow closer together, as we've been married for 32 years coming up here in another month. But God is great. I met my wife, Linda, on a cruise ship. Found out that she lived 10 miles from the house. Back actually from this Friday, it will be a little over 34 years ago. So God put us together, and then we adopted our daughter. She's from Azerbaijan. I don't know if you've ever heard of that country, but she's from Baku, Azerbaijan, and we got her at 2.5 years old, and she's been such a blessing to be part of our family, and she loves animals, and favorite thing to do, she volunteers at some barns, and she loves scooping up after the horses. So she is not afraid to get dirty when it comes to doing that kind of stuff. So looking forward to sharing with you what God is doing. I'm going to give you a tour real quick of this property and need your suggestions and help on what we can do. We'd also like to ask you to subscribe here to our channel and click the notification button. We're going to have many more videos to come as we embark on this. So thank you so much, and I'm going to give you a tour real quick here. We've got a good sized 3,000 square foot barn. It's got a sliding door in the front and in the back, and then it's got another door on this other side. The side over here on the left of the barn is divided off, where you actually they've got it set up for a shop area where you can work on things on that side. And then this other side, from this door over here to this side, is part of it is concrete over to about the door, then the rest of it is a dirt floor. Got plenty of room to do whatever we decide we want to do inside this barn, but it's a great space. Then across from here, I was actually thinking about over in here close to the driveway doing our raised beds. As you come across this area here, plenty of room there, but trying to decide with my wife exactly where we want to put things at for the raised bed area. And as we continue to walk around the barn here, on this other side is a good acre or so, well, maybe not an acre, but it's close to an acre, good area here that we can use as well, that goes all the way down to that fence in the corner there. As you walk behind the barn, there's a nice partially shaded area. You got the woods behind you. There's a fence that goes behind a wired fence, barbed wire fence on the other side of the trees there. So it goes on down, and you can go behind the storage buildings here. So I've got plenty of distance. It goes almost down to that other pole down there. Standing next to the side of the barn, looking back across the backyard, you see these storage buildings here. There's actually a total of 11 of them with an office on the end. I know with our insurance and all, it does not allow business to take place in those buildings without totally changing our insurance structure. But as you look across the back here, we've got a good bit of area here in the backyard that we could utilize as well for chickens or whatever we wanted to do back here. We've got a nice back porch, covered back porch as well. Here's the back corner of our property, looking back towards the barn and towards the house. There's a good bit of property behind the storage buildings there, as you can see, and behind the barn. And then it goes all the way down to, I hate to turn y'all towards the sun, but all the way down to the highway down there. So again, trying to figure out what we're going to put where. It's not an easy process. This is a look across the front of our property from the side, looking back across, looking north. The sun actually rises over on this area from the east, and it sets over here on the west side, which is that way. So that way's north and south is behind me. But there's a lot of grass here that has to be cut. That's why I'm wanting to fence it up and let's get away with some of this grass and see what kind of animals we can actually have out here. We're in a county area where there's no zoning, so it shouldn't be any problem. It's just what can this land handle and what can we handle. So again, I need your suggestions. Guys, let me share just a little bit more about this journey that I was talking about earlier. We are actually not in this home yet. We were supposed to close about a little over a month ago, and things got held up with underwriting with the people that are buying our house. And the sale of this house here was contingent on our house selling. Luckily for us, the people that lived in this home, they were an older couple. They've already have sold and have already moved, packed up their stuff and moved, and they've allowed me to come over here, and I've got some stuff stored over here just to get an early jump on moving. And also I've cut the grass a couple of times, which is not a short task in itself because it's all grass. So we have been living out of suitcases. And I don't know if you've ever had to do that. It's not well, I say suitcases, out of boxes really, because most of our stuff is already packed up because we thought we were closing and moving at the first part of May. So there's been many disappointment setbacks during all of this, especially when you're told one thing and then a week or two later you find out, no, we can't do it yet because somebody hadn't done this or somebody hadn't done that. Things that are really out of our hands and out of our control, which, like I said, can be very frustrating. And so my thought today, as I was sitting out at the Red Barn with my daughter, she goes every week to a work class out there. They're teaching her job skills, and so she loves that. But it gives me about an hour and a half of time to reflect and study. And so I was thinking, how do you handle disappointments when you're waiting on something and it has not manifested like it was told it was going to? And again, when you have no control over it, they've put a hold on us wanting to get our garden going, which a lot of people say no big deal, but it is to us. Put a hold on us being able to get the animals we wanted to get started with. So how do you handle the disappointment? Do you allow it to frustrate you to the point where you get mad, you get stressed, or you just laid back and it's okay, it's all good? Well, for me, I deal with the autoimmune disease called psoriatic arthritis, and stress is the worst thing for it. It causes inflammation, which makes me hurt all over, which is no fun. But I have learned if I can live stress-free, I don't hurt near as much. Now that's hard to do in this world that we live in, especially as I said earlier, there's so many things out of our control. So I want to share with you what God has shown me how to deal with stress, because stress causes a lot of problem and health issues in people. And the first scripture that I thought about, many of you know this one, is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. Well, when I was looking at that today, God showed me, He said, Russell, how much do you trust in me? Do you trust in me with all your heart? You know, because 95% is not enough, because there's doubt when it's only 95%. There's still a measure of doubt there. And how can I direct your path if you don't give me 100% trust? So I started pondering on it, and I was like, God, help me, show me how to have 100% trust in you, because I want you directing my path. I've learned over the years that I'm not always good at directing my path. I will mess things up in a heartbeat. But if you could just get to that point to realize when things are not in your control, when you have no way of controlling it, and even better than that, even when they are in your control, that you still give God 100% trust, He's going to direct your path, and He's going to make way straight for you. So man, that was one that really hit home, because I feel like I do a good job of trusting in God, but do I always give them 100%? The other scripture that I saw that he brought me to was 1 Peter 5:7. And again, y'all may know these are all common scriptures, but it's cast all your cares on him because he cares for you. Now I know there's people out there that say, I'm not going to bother God with something like this. This is not that big of a deal, even though it's bothering me. But he says, cast how many of your cares? All your cares on him. Why? Because he loves you. He cares for you. So whatever the situation is, whatever you're going through, he says to cast it to him. One of the many frustrations I have in our household, and this is not Leah's fault, our daughter's fault, it's just a byproduct of dealing with the autism, and that is that she has a hard time understanding what's going to be happening later on. She needs to know exactly what time we're eating supper. And you can tell her, baby, I don't know what time we're going to eat. Just when we get through with what we're doing, we'll eat. Well, that's not enough. Well, I have to cast that and give that to God. God, you've got to help me in this. Help her to understand that I don't control everything, that I can't tell her exactly when, but she needs to know. And so that can be very stressful. I guess the worst case is when the power goes off. She thinks Daddy can fix the power automatically, and oh my gosh, that's a major meltdown waiting to happen. And I'm like, God, don't let the power go out on us, because I can't fix it. That's going to be Alabama Power here in the state of Alabama that has to fix that. So I just want to encourage you, there's things that we don't have control over, but God can handle them for us. There's no reason for us not to go to him in prayer and let him know what is bothering us, what is stressing us, and go from there. So guys, I just want to end this video and encourage you, do not let stress and setbacks get in your way of living a fulfilled life. There's so many times we allow little things to multiply, and it causes fights within the family. It causes people to get mad at with each other and actually box each other out. I found the only thing that the enemy can really do to me is to isolate me. And he can do that by allow myself to build up boxes because I'm aggravated at something that's out of my control. So I encourage you, don't let that happen. Turn everything over to God. And again, I appreciate you joining us today and looking at our property. Hopefully in less than 2 weeks we'll be moving over here, and I want to carry you on that journey of the process of the things we're going to be doing. It's going to be a fun journey, I promise you that. I'm going to try to have a little word of wisdom to give you on these. You'll get to meet my wife and my daughter. You're going to really like them. They look a whole lot better than I do, I promise you. God's been good to me in all areas, and we love you very, very much. Again, ask you to like and subscribe if you will, and hey, want to be able to continue on this journey and share with you guys. Love y'all very much. You have a blessed day. Thank you.